Good evening, guys. It is June 12th, 2018. Terrific Tuesday. Spirit has been guiding me to make a series of a topic that's been on my heart. It's about love. In the Greek, there's like 6 different types of love. We have eros. You've heard of erotica. That's where that comes from. You know, the lustful type, the have to be with somebody, the romantic, feeling love. Then there's the philo or phila love. You've heard of Philadelphia. Well, that's where that comes from. It's the city of brotherly love or sisterly love. And then there's agape. Agape is unconditional love. Now, unconditional love can incorporate other types of love. But at its core, unconditional love has no records of wrong or right. It is. It is a love that has no conditions, no expectations. Sometimes the hardest things we do under unconditional love, people may not understand. It's a tough one. How do we think about love? And how does that work into our relationships? What is it that does not resonate with us in regards to romantic relationships? Respect, honesty, loyalty, boundaries, faithfulness, or should I say a lack thereof. I know we've all had many experiences in regards to the topic of romantic relationships, and a lot of times it gets pretty messy. Well, why is that? Somebody's not on the same page. Communication, what's the communication like? Are we operating on the frequency of unconditional love? Or are we operating on, the frequency of conditional love? Do we have expectations? Are we going with the flow? Now, if something's right and is, you don't have to force it. If one person loves another person, you don't have to force it. Let's put that into a romantic setting. If someone loves somebody romantically and another person loves each other romantically, they should not have to force it. And this isn't any type of relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be friendships. It can be, all of that. It's the boundaries we hold, the loyalty we have to each other, the honesty that we keep, the respect we have for each other, our faithfulness to each other within these different relationships. So, do we look at it from the perspective of, do we look at relationships? We'll go with the romantic one for right now. In the perspective of sharing a life with someone where 2 lives that are separate choose to overlap and integrate or collaborate while still keeping their individuality and their independence? Is that how we look at a relationship? A romantic relationship? A friendship? Or do we operate on the frequency of, and the perspective of, two lives molding together with no recognition of each other's independence or individuality? I read a quote this morning that was pretty inspirational to me, hitting home to something that went through my mind last night. The quote says, "The trick, kiddo," his mom replies slowly, "is finding someone who complements you instead of completes you. You need to be complete on your own." That is powerful. It's the internal work we do. Wow. It's in regards to a romantic relationship. How is it that someone compliments us? Brings out what they the joy and the love and all of that in us. Do we bring out the best in each other? That's all about the compliments. It's integrating the energies of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We're talking energies here. It doesn't have to be a physical man and a physical woman. We all have within us a divine masculine and a divine feminine. Not many people look at it that way. It's the yin and the yang energy. It's the Elohim and the Shekinah. If you look in many different religions, there's these different perspectives. In many faiths, in many faith-based beliefs. So, what if a relationship was actually simple? Now that seems foreign to us, right? Well, I mean, from my perspective, when Adam and Eve were created at the very beginning, they were supposed to complement each other, were they not? But also, at that point, there's only two people. It's probably a little bit easier. Now we have options. Oh, crap. But what if a relationship was actually simple? But what if it's that we've complicated it by adding all of these expectations rather than going with the flow? Rather than being in our minds so much and using our gut and our heart, our intuition and our heart to read the signals that others are giving off, instead of using our minds, because the mind just tends to want to mess with us. Because mind is a powerful tool, it's just we have to know how to use it. We were given a soul. Our soul. Why don't we use that more often? Wouldn't it be amazing to find your divine complement through your soul? Rather than trying to think through whether, hey, do they like me? Do they not like me? It gets exhausting, doesn't it? Let's go with the flow. Let's do it. Let's just do it. What if we even had it... So what if we have this relationship in our lives already, but we just don't know how to recognize it? I mean... Now that's a mind blower right there. What if we were taught what love is all throughout our lives, but it's not actually it? So we're going to delve in deep with that one, okay? That topic right there. How to recognize it. How do we recognize our divine complement? It could be in our lives already, but we just don't know. Interesting. Very interesting concept. All right. In this series, this is the intro, okay? In this series, I will take you on a journey of where I have been. Through all of the life lessons that I've learned, well, maybe not all of them, but I'll highlight them. You know, and where and why I started to look at life differently. Why is it that I'm even doing this series? 'Cause how I tried to navigate through life before was very emotional. It was sometimes very dark. A lot of, lack of self-worth. So, yeah. I'm gonna take you on a little bit of, Shadow Kevin, I guess. And in this series, I will speak about different topics, different experiences, as I touched on. And possibly I would like to get some guests talk about these topics, different experiences in regards to other people rather than just myself, because it's all about relationships here and love and connecting and connections. So it would be easier, I should say, to be able to have a conversation with someone in regards to this on here. So if anybody is willing to either share their experience, touch on a certain specific topic, please let me know. Because I feel that doing this series, one, it's not just going to help myself, it's going to help us all. That's what it's about. The soul healing work is helping each other. Helping each other, building each other up, helping us figure out our own worth inside, and learning to recognize it in the mirror, which is in the 3D. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this topic, in this series, I should say, sounds interesting, that you will want to participate with me. If you have ideas, please let me know. Namaste. Love and light to all of you, divine, beautiful souls.